Good morning, campers. So I'm not going to do a reading today. I want to talk a little bit about twin flames and say a bit more about the video that I've done last night that was a stitch to a video about twin flames. So the video that I've stitched, it was actually very funny. It's someone who makes, funny videos about the journey. And I actually laughed, right? Because knowing the journey and knowing that this is just a joke, the video, I laughed. But then I looked at the comments and there was a lot of females leaving, very nasty comments, very bitter, I would say, comments, right? And that's what I was talking about in my yesterday's video. You can check that out if you want to. But what I wanted to say today is that there's a lot of funny content out there about twin flames, and I get it, right? The journey is so hard, it's so challenging, it's so difficult, it's so magical as well, but it's so out of this world that when you are on the other side of the bridge, right, and you're still doing the work, you might be in inner union, you might be in union with your divine, but you're like past the bridge of the difficult part. You look at it from a different perspective, right? It happens to all of us. It happens with all difficulties. At the moment the trauma is happening, and the moment the thing is affecting us, when the moment difficulty arises, we're not laughing. But when we're talking about this once it's passed, we always try to find, the funny side of the story. So I understand that, and I also understand that, it's really entertaining. People enjoy watching those videos, and we all have a different purpose, right? I make more serious videos. I do readings because I'm not particularly funny person. I'm not an entertainer, right? I don't have the talents to do that, so I do different kinds of videos. But what I truly wanted to tell you is that sometimes those funny videos that talk about, from a sarcastic point of view about the journey, they can be misunderstood by people who are either on a very, very initial stages of the journey, so feminines that just awaken to the journey, or unfortunately, a lot of people that are truly in a karmic connection or in a very difficult trauma bond. So what I want to address today is something that may help divine feminines that are in initial stages of the journey, right? You would know truly if you are in a connection, because this connection forces growth, especially in a divine feminine, because it happens right after the initial encounter with the masculine, right? The masculine remains dormant for a little longer. So if you truly want to know, just look back 3 months, 4 months back. If you've done growth, healing, if you've looked inwards, if you've done self-reflection, if you're more mindful, if you're more awakened, then in a journey, if that person was a catalyst to that, if that person continues to be your biggest catalyst and your biggest trigger, you have your answer. But if you truly are feminine on a twin flame journey, I want you to try to understand that at any point, no one is doing more or less work. The work is just different, because the feminine we operate in 5D, on an emotional level, on a level of internal world, on a level of healing our soul, healing the womb, healing the trauma. The masculine operates on a level of 3D. So he goes through physical traumas, tower moments, sometimes physical illnesses, karmic connections, difficulties when it comes to finances, when it comes to his physical world, right? And his journey of healing and awakening starts later in a journey. So when you awaken, when you going through all that delulu, right, and you're starting your healing journey, you're literally having your kundalini awakening and crying on the floor, asking God to just give you back the other half of your soul or take you home. He's unaware of that. He's just living his matrix delulu life. He's not aware of that. You do your work, because the purpose of the journey is to heal on our own. And then the moment you are healed to a level enough to hold that energetical space for him as well and support him, he can go through awakening, he can start his healing journey. But all this time, without him knowing, he pays karma, he goes through challenges, he goes through life lessons. It is not less hard for him than it is for you. It is just different. And sometimes there are moments when I actually really think it's not more or less difficult, but sometimes there are moments that I think it's more difficult for them, because they're still connected to us. They still feel this something that is so strong and so powerful, this magnetic pull that they don't understand, but they feel it, right? We call them, we entice them. They constantly go back to that feeling. And what happens is you go through your healing. So you go through your glow up. You thrive. You don't have difficulties in the 3D world, because you have to have the environment to be able to comfortably do your 5D work, right? Your internal work, your soul work. So oftentimes, your physical world, everything goes fine. You're actually thriving, right? You have the resources, you have a great job, you're starting to follow your purpose. You glow up as a person. Every month you're literally more beautiful. And your poor masculine has to look at that, going through all the difficulties with karmic connections, with family, with trauma, with his job, with his health. Hell, he has to look at you to see you thrive, to see you glow. And he has no way of knowing, because this is part of the journey, what you're going through internally. He has no way of knowing that, usually the feminists are out there present in the social media, right? If you're awakened to be someone, to be a healer, you create a platform, right? So he looks at you and he sees you thrive and glow, and every single month be more confident, more feminine, more beautiful, more following your purpose. And the poor little masculine doesn't really see the pain that you're going through behind the scenes, that kundalini awakening, those dark nights of the soul, that soul-ripping pain that you have to go through and heal on your own. He sees the external, right? He believes in the external because he operates on that 3D level. And in the meantime, his world is literally crashing as a tower. So it's difficult for you, it's difficult for him, it's difficult for both. You need to work as a team. Until the moment you reach that place in your divine healed power, that you will never point finger at him, that you will never say, like, why is it taking so long, and why is it not so difficult, why is he not healing? But you will truly understand that everything that you went through, now he has to go through, that it was hard for him as well, that it is still hard for him as well. And you truly 24/7 on every level, every dimension, only have unconditional love for him. That is when he truly has the energetical space to start his deeper healing. So know that, remember that. I hope this was helpful. I hope this video will find whoever needs to hear this, because this journey is so confusing, especially in these initial stages when you truly still think that you're the Lulu. And if you have any questions, just let me know.